All right, guys, Alternator Super Service. It has been a long, drawn-out deal on here. We got Mark's truck here. It's finally getting ready to go. I mean, it seems like every day I would work about 2 hours on it, and then we would run short on this crap. We cannot. We had a hell of a time getting our hands on everything. So, but had to get a new alternator, which that was nothing. Went ahead and put a coolant pump in, and we're putting a fan clutch on it. Putting a Murray fan clutch on it. That's a good fan clutch. Let's just sit down nice and easy. I was getting ready to put the fan stator on, and I figured I might as well make a video of it to show. We are replacing all the hoses, just because, I mean, it's just what you're right. I mean, I did replace the gearbox, the Hydro Boost line, because it was looking pretty freaking nasty. This line right here, power steering line. Cleaned a lot of stuff up. Pumps all clean, got the Wi-Fi on. We had a connection on the ground right there. I was gonna cut it off, but I'm like, the connections are just, I don't know. It was together. I tried to pull it apart. It seemed like it was held together, so I was like, well, we'll ride with it. I've actually had trucks run many times that ground's not even hooked up. So, but just running through everything. We're just about, you didn't have an EGR valve, Mark, but we went ahead and put one. I've got a couple of them just because I cannot freaking stand having that freaking hole there with the little block off plate and the EGR valve plug sitting there just hanging out. I can't deal with that. That's not, so that valve doesn't do anything. There's no reason at all when these trucks get deleted to take that valve out and put the block off plate on. Absolutely no freaking reason at all. It doesn't make any sense. It's absolutely just, I mean, yeah, I don't know, whatever. But belt, I don't know. I mean, it's Tanner's back there welding the exhaust. If you guys remember, it's big freaking exhaust and it barely fits. And we wanted to take this clamp off that was right here. So he's back there welding it right now and welding this connection here so that it doesn't slide down. There was already big witness marks where it was hitting the cross member, but we're gonna put it up there and see if we can't get it settled in where it's not hitting anything, because it's freaking annoying when it hits. I did do the harness. Yeah, I got some hours on that freaking harness. That is not a new harness. I actually spent, I don't know how many hours I spent. We taped up the whole harness. I mean, we didn't have any electrical issues, so I just taped it up. And those of you that have taped an entire harness before, yeah, it freaking sucks. It's a pain in the ass, it sucks. But it'll be all right, it's done now. I did the Fickham harness too. So, obviously just like we do, I mean, new rear head plugs, new block drains, everything. What else we got? Yeah, I don't know. The grounds, those of you that look at the grounds, you can see underneath there. We paint the frame, but we also grind away the paint before we put a ground on. That's just what we do. That's what you're supposed to do. I mean, you can paint the frame fine. I should grab some rattle can and go over it again, just to cover it up after the bolt is on. That way it kind of keeps corrosion out of there. Grind it off and then bolt it, and then throw a quick shot of paint on it just to kind of keep it looking good. The alternator was shot. I remember that when we came in. So got a new one, upper alternator, dual alternator system. That's the part number. Those, it has to be new. If you have an R right here on your alternator, you might as well go to the freaking boat and gamble on it, because I've never seen a good reman one. I mean, I've never seen a good alternator. Let's just say that. They always turn bad, all of them. But much better luck with the remans, with the new than the remans. And let's face it, I mean, I can change an alternator in about probably 52 seconds. It does not take long at all. So, but Well, that does complicate it, as Mark's truck did have the kickstand broken off of it. So that would add a little bit of time. That would probably add about 15 seconds to the alternator change, so whatever. He did have a blue spring. All we did was keyhole gasket, so the blue spring was already done. So we put your spring back in it, and I put new gaskets and stuff on it. Because there's no use in actually, we always compare them to an actual blue spring to make sure that it's not weakened or shorter, because sometimes these springs will get compressed and they'll be actually physically shorter. And the blue, just because you have a blue spring in it does not mean that it's done forever. It will compress down, and your fuel pressure, basically it wears out, is what I'm getting at. It will wear out, and your pressure will go back down, because the spring will compress. The spring will compress, and then it'll get weak, and it'll stay compressed. So, what else? So we did update dipstick tube, got 07. Basically, all the EVP, all the hardware, all that stuff's done. New glow plugs, new glow plug wires. We did 4 new injectors on the passenger side. All 4 of these injectors are Ford remans. The other side is what was left. There's, what do we got? Let's look at the board here. We recovered 0.98, so it wasn't real low. 5 to 8 and 1 to 4. So those are the 2 we kept. Injector number 5 went over to number 8, and injector number 1 went over to number 4. So, because those were the 2 good ones off this side. So, but at that point, it's a moot point. Doesn't even matter. You know, he already had banjo bolts, the 6.4 ones. So we let him ride with that. Did clean the turbo, and IPR valve did have to. Yeah, that's a freaking new one. Which sucks, because when I was trying to pull it into the house, I think I made a video on that. It does have our intake on it. Can't really see it right there. Right there you can see it. Anything else? Heck, I don't know. I mean, I did do nipple cup O-rings, because quite a few of them were, this truck had been into a couple of times, you could tell on the injectors, because there was kind of a hodgepodge of different kinds. Just like the one that the excursion dairy is working on over there, you know, they get those online retailers, $135 injectors are not what they're worth. That's their junk. I mean, so Dan's over there welding right now. Other than that, I got oil in it, already primed the fuel system. So just before I went ahead and buttoned it up, cab will be down today. We'll see how far we get. I still need to get a radiator. I think Julie's already called on it. Let's hope it's freaking, you know, not waiting, because it seems like every freaking thing we needed on this, I don't know what happened. I spent more time waiting than I spent working, and it's a pain in the butt. But, you know, we got to do what we got to do. It sucks. I mean, we can't half-ass it and put it together and hope for the best. I mean, we try to cover every base that we normally cover, so. Other than that, yeah, we're just new oil pressure switch. I always put those in, guys. I always put a new one in. You see it right there? Right there. Go ahead, put a new one in. It's not that freaking expensive. Coolant Y pipes went way freaking expensive. They're freaking ridiculously expensive. I'm not, who knows what'll happen. We might start making this piece out of aluminum. I don't know. We'll see. Because they're getting priced so high. They used to be 30 bucks, and now they're 3 times that. So, yeah. Makes no sense why, whatever, but. We're going to put that freaking K&N air filter back on. It sucks, or whatever it is. It might be an AFE. I don't know what it is, but we'll go ahead and put it back on. Whatever. Anything else? We're pretty much... If I am forgetting stuff, I always forget stuff. I remember when I hit stop on the video and I upload it, and I think of a couple other things that we forgot, but other than that, we're pretty much just kind of look around. They started painting the turbo drain tube. I ain't mad at them. Whatever. I did wrap up the IPR valve connection, because sometimes that foil gets a little messed up on the engine harness, so I put HVAC tape on it. I mean, granted, if we have to go in for an IPR valve, that HVAC tape, you just rip it off, just tear it off, and hopefully, because Mark lives in Texas, I doubt it, but you never know. Hopefully they have HVAC tape and take a little bit of time to actually cover it up. And the wrap right there, the IPR wrap, cover that thing up, cover it up so the heat stays away from it. Well, yeah, no, that was a different truck, but resealed breather box. Yeah, it's balanced, 10 over, total rebuild. Other than that, I mean, we're good to go. So I'm gonna finish buttoning it up, and let's try and get this sucker on the road, because it's been way too long, and it's embarrassing because Jesus, this freaking sucks. All right, guys, that's it. Let's get this thing going. Have a good day.